I'm Richie Beckerman. I'm Mike's brother, the best man. And for a lot of you guys, it was a long way to get down here. So it was great to see an awesome turnout. And let's get the night started. Lou Beckerman.
Thank you very much. Stand up, Lou. I don't know when I wrote this, but I can't read this. I can't read this either. What was I thinking? Okay, I can read this. On behalf of my wife Nancy and myself, we'd like to welcome all of our friends and relatives, all Michael and Morgan's friends, and our newly found Charleston relatives, Marshall, Patty, and Ross Miller, to this pre-wedding dinner. We're happy that you all could make it from places as near as over the bridge to as far as over the pond. We are very excited to be sharing this wonderful time in our lives with all of you. It's been a long time coming, and now here it is. So as we're gathered here tonight to mix and mingle and get to know each other, I thought you might find it interesting to learn a little bit more about Michael, as only a parent could know. I'm not looking. Has he gone white yet? Oh, I think he has. So it begins with his birth. We thought, as most proud parents do, that our firstborn was the most beautiful thing we'd ever seen. I took some pictures in the delivery room to memorialize the grand event. So it happened that several months later I came across the pictures that I had taken. There were no digital cameras in 1978. To my horror, I looked and thought somebody had switched the pics. His head reminded me of the Coneheads on Saturday Night Live, and his nose went from ear to ear. Clearly, Mother Nature had been just screwing with me, because he has grown up to be a very handsome young man, if I do say so myself. So now I just want to share a few tidbits with all of you. First comes the toilet incident. But I've been told I cannot speak about it because Richie wants to explain it at a later time. We'll leave it at that. So now moving on, there really isn't too much to report until he became a teenager. He got into the usual mischief as a kid, blamed his brother, and moved on to the next thing. And as was my style, when anything went wrong or got broken, I would line the two of them up in the kitchen, and I'd say, okay, who did it? And it's broken, so one of you must have done it. Mike never admitted to anything, but he didn't realize that his brother was weak. Richie couldn't take the pressure. Richie couldn't take the pressure, so if he did it, he always cracked. Just, I did it, I'm sorry. So I knew that if Michael didn't say anything and Richard didn't say anything, it was Mike. Then there was the bar mitzvah, and that went okay. Then came high school and a driver's license, and girls, and parties, and some school thrown in here and there for good measure. It happened one day that I was driving and I recognized my other car in front of me, and it was Mike. And he just took a corner on two wheels. So I followed him home and then grounded him. His only defense, which he used time and time again, was, oh, and you didn't do that when you were my age? I'm not seeing the relevance. Is anybody else here seeing that relevance? Okay. Then in senior year, it was late one night, maybe 1 in the morning. I happened to look out the window to suddenly see my number one son. He's over here, taking a leak on the neighbor's lawn across the street. And I'm looking, just when I realized it couldn't get any better, I realized that I didn't like those neighbors either. Then came college. I remember going to GW for orientation with Mike. We did some typical things during the day, went to some of the dorms and some of the libraries and, try to get a little feel for college life. And then after dinner, Mike said that he wanted to go with some of his classmates, future classmates. He wanted to check out the library and the research facilities, since he wanted to get a head start. I was so happy about this. I was so proud of him when he met me the next morning for breakfast wearing the same clothes he had on the day before. Wow, so much dedication to school. I was so happy, and I thought to myself, just think how well he'll do when he actually gets his books. Then came Halloween. I was in DC for a pension conference and was in an elevator going up to my room when at the last second, a young man flew into the elevator sideways to avoid the closing doors. He said, "Hi, Dad." "Hey, Dad, it's me. Dad, you in the corner. It's me." I refused to acknowledge him. When I got off the elevator, on my floor, he followed me. So now everyone knew that it was me who had the son with platinum hair. It wasn't even combed. There are a number of other incidents that come to mind, but unfortunately this dinner is PG rated, so I have to conclude my comments about Michael. I know some of his friends hopefully will not show as much restraint. I do, however, want to comment on Morgan. Okay, I don't really know much about Morgan. Okay, I just met her as she was introduced to us. Say what?
It's better that way.
No, actually, I did find out, Karen, some information about Morgan, Karen, and I want to share that with you, Karen. And it turns out that one weekend when you guys were away and Ross was off to Alabama in college and Morgan was supposed to be at a girlfriend's on a sleepover, well, she wasn't. She was at your house with a raging keg party going on. Luckily, there were no cops, nothing broken. But I did want to let you know, no, it's my time. This is my time. 2 weeks. Okay, fine. That's fine. Bring it. However, absent that little episode, I do want to comment on Morgan. Since I really don't know anything about her early years, I've concluded that she was an absolute angel. No terrible 2s, 4s, 8s, etc. No teenage tantrums. No, I hate you both, you're ruining my life. No, not at all. Just a sweet, laid-back Southern gal. And also, I wanted to say kudos to you, Marshall, for teaching her the fine communication skills she now possesses. It is truly amazing. In fact, she's the only woman I have come in contact with this wonderful skill. I talk, she listens. Again, I do want to welcome everyone here tonight, just as Patty and Marshall will welcome you tomorrow for the big event.
All right, so we'll try to follow that up.